So we're going to talk about random things until I see somebody pop on, and then we're going to start our live because I'm not going to just talk to nobody. Just how YouTube seems to be here lately. They do not take good care of anyone who's an up-and-coming creator. But it ain't nothing but a thing because I do this for you guys and not for any other reason. I think y'all rock harder than granite. YouTube used to be a dream job for people until for whatever reason they just don't take care of their people. Which makes no sense. But I guess to somebody it does make sense, which is why I don't understand it. But anyway, today is Monday, and we're going to have a good day today. Everything is great. I've tried this new drink, Better Good Blackberry Sparkling Water. And again, I'm like a nut job for sparkling drinks because they're like a punch in the face. A literal punch in the face. They're absolutely amazing. Check this out, man. My stinking goatee looks off-centered. Whatever. Oh, man. It's crispy out here this morning. I mean, it is really cold. At least really cold for me. I like hot weather. I like weather that is apocalyptic level hot. Like 40 degrees is ridiculous. I don't know who ordered this weather, but they need to stop. They need to go back and reorder some weather that's a little warmer. But anywho, I think we're going to have a good day today. I think everything's going to be amazing. And I got a new carburetor, which is pretty neat. This came off the junk bike, and I'm really excited about this because when I tore it apart yesterday, it's clean. It's really clean on the inside. Yeah. I don't really know why I had to take that part off. But whatever. Yeah, it was really clean, and which is surprising because usually when they sit, people leave gas in them and they just ruin. But this is not ruined. And I don't really like choke cables, so I found this piece that I had. This is my choke. And but you can see on the inside, I don't know if you guys can see. See how slow that popped down? The diaphragm is good. What's up, Oliver? The diaphragm is good. And I mean, this is great. This is really good news, actually. The diaphragm's good. The accelerator pump is old, and it doesn't really want to work. I don't know how I could loosen that rubber up. Really, I should replace it, but I couldn't find a kit for this thing. You would think it being a Chinese carburetor, you know, they'd be everywhere, but I don't know if this carburetor's made anymore. I couldn't find any gaskets, so, and definitely couldn't find an accelerator pump. But I might measure it out and see. I couldn't find this bottle carburetor really, but pull that thing up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to see if I can make the diaphragm that's in here move, because this bike only had 200 miles. So I mean, this thing's still brand new, even though it's just old. It's just aged out. I'll tell you something else funny. When I pulled this intake off, one of these, they have two gaskets. Now tell me how much sense this makes. Two gaskets, okay, and O-rings. What's the point of the gaskets when the O-rings can seat against the surface of the engine? I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows. But funny enough, one of these didn't even have an O-ring on it. But I really wish I could have got this bike new. Man, it would have been worth. It'd have been worth the money. And I really hate that somebody let it sit up for so many years. Um, it has a lot of neat little features on it that. Ooh, that stuff's harsh. Has a lot of neat features on it, like a center stand. I mean, I wish my Nighthawk had a center stand. They used to, years ago, they had center stands, but I guess they were just unpopular and people didn't want them anymore. And what's the point of putting it on there if nobody wants it? But this bike does, has a center stand. And I'll tell you something else I did. I pulled the wiring off. So you got your regulator, you got your coils, this thing, CDI box. I pulled all that off, separated it from the loom, so that way I can wire it up the way I want it wired, and possibly get this engine running. I think that, and I don't know this for sure, but I think it's going to be a fit for the Nighthawk. Now, the rest of that bike is not really worth saving, but the Nighthawk is. Nighthawk's a pretty solid bike, and I like it a lot, and I really want to run it for a long, long time. And funny enough, this carburetor looks like the same type that's on the Nighthawk, because it uses a constant velocity. Now, I wish that I had an adapter that would let me use one of these, but no biggie, no biggie. Nibby makes a carburetor that looks like it has the right type of flange, but I don't want to pay $70. And I'm not really convinced that Nibbies are all that great in comparison to the off-brand versions. They look the same. And a round slide carb is a round slide carb. Ooh, yeah, excuse me. Ooh. Round slide carb is a round slide carb. Man, I love you too, bro. Man, go back to work, sir. And it's just really, I don't really think there's that much difference between one and the other. Now, there is a carb I wish I could get my hands on. I think a bird just flew in here. There's a carb I wish I could get my hands on. It's called a Smart Carb. There's a squirrel on my roof. Or a bunch of birds. That's such a wild sound. I don't know if y'all can hear that or not. Like, what are they doing? Yeah, let's go check this out. Oh, they flew away. Let's check it out. Sorry for the dirty land. There they are. Look at them go, man. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I love birds. Oh man, let's get back to my spot. Oh man. Yeah, this bike, name a car for a edit. 88 Honda Prelude. It's my car. Or an 85 El Camino. Those are pretty cool too. Yeah, that bike has a lot of cool features on it, and I'm looking forward to what I can do with it. I want to try to, a friend of mine gave me this pressure washer, and I want to try to set it up and use the pressure washer body, because the motor on it's not any good. The motor, I want to use the body as some sort of test stand, which would be pretty neat. I'd have a roll around test stand. But you know, I've seen people online give a lot of crap over Chinese motors. Out of all the junk that comes out of China, they generally have good motors, really solid motors. At least that's been my first-hand experience. They when you think about it, you know, their culture. They got sometimes a whole family depends on a motorcycle or a scooter, and that's their main mode of transportation. And so, the companies are really good at building these motorcycle engines. They're pretty solid. They're pretty well made, and I like them. They got good carburetors. They build good carburetors. But yeah, there's a company I'd love to try one of their bikes. I'd actually love to go to their factory and build one for a video. They're called Janus, and they sell bikes with Chinese motors. They handcraft the frame, and they just put the motor on it. But man, they're cool bikes. They're really cool bikes, and the motor that they put on it, they have a 250 and a 450. I think it's a 450. But they're pretty solid, and those motors only have one camshaft. So, but anywho, let's talk about something else, because I don't have Janus bike money. So, not unless YouTube decides to finally monetize my channel, I don't see that happening anytime soon. But man, let's talk about some stuff this morning. So I went to the grocery store last night, and I got this new app. I've been kind of, let me get that fixed. That I've been kind of talking to y'all about, called, I think it's called Yuke or something like that. Yuke. I don't know. Yuke app. I don't know. It's got a carrot on it, and well, it shows you what's in the food. You know what's. It shows you the risk level of the different chemicals that are in the food. And what's up, Arthur? And then, man, just to say that I'm disturbed is an understatement. So I'm going through, and, you know, my wife would say, all right, we need this. And it was my job to use the app to try to figure out, you know, what we could get, because we wanted to get the best quality. I'm tired of being overweight. She's tired of being overweight. We're tired of being swollen and hurting. And man, to tell you that I am disturbed by what I found, I mean, I couldn't even find I couldn't find tortillas that didn't have some weird chemical in it. And yeah, I understand that, you know, the scientific names of chemicals are scary sounding, to be honest. Like, water is dihydrogen monoxide. But you know, it was chemical, and one that really stood out to me was sodium hydroxide. Like why is that in food? And I can't remember what that was in. I can always go back in the app and look up what I scanned. But I mean, why would sodium hydroxide be in food of all freaking things? I mean, what's the deal with that? And you know, I do believe, and I don't know this for sure, again, everything's a conspiracy until you can prove it, but man, I think they're making this food intentionally addictive. It's just awful. It's really awful, and I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that, man. I would love to just eat some good. I'd love to be able to go to Walmart and buy some decent tortillas without having to worry about what's in them. That would be really nice, and I can't do that. Absolutely can't do that because of the garbage that they put in them. So we got to go home with no tortillas. Tacos are like my favorite thing too. And just the reality of what I've been putting in my body just really sunk in. It sunk in and sunk in deep. Man, I'm done giving these fools money. I'm really done with it. And it makes me sick because it's good tasting products, but they're just awful with the preservatives and the antioxidants that they put in them. Man, some of the emulsifiers that they use is just ridiculous. Like, can't you come up with something that's not toxic, horribly toxic? And yeah, I don't think they intentionally You know, back in the day when they developed these products, I don't think a lot of it was intentional. I'd like to hope not anyway. I really would like to hope not. But when the data comes in and it is bad, why do you keep doing it? Why keep doing it? Why keep hurting people? Knowing that you're hurting people. When you look around here in the South, man, and you see everybody overweight and miserable, I mean, come on, man. What else could it be? What else could it be? All right, well, you can blame exercise. You can blame diet and exercise. Man, I worked hard for a long time when I worked in industry. Worked as a machinist. I worked really hard every day, and it was nothing for me to pick up big bars of steel, load it in the machine. You know, I worked at another machine shop. It was nothing for me to go to plants, to Georgia Pacific, and climb these big mountainous looking machines to get to the top to put some part in or change this out and move this. I mean, I worked real hard. And when you look at it, when you look at what I was doing, there was no reason for me to be overweight. I mean, basically, I worked out for a living. You got a lot of people who do that. They work out for a living. And why are they overweight? And man, it's the food. Hands down, it's the food. Look at that. I got another coal. Hands down, it's the food. Hands down, it's the trash that we put in our bodies. And if you don't know, you don't know. But now I do know, and now I want to do better. So this app has definitely been an asset, and man, I encourage you to download something like it. Either download that very app I'm using or download something like it, because man, it's not okay. It's not okay to be unhealthy. And there's no reason for it. Not in the United States. There's no reason for it. It would make sense if we was some third world country overseas and we had very limited access to food. But we're not. We're the richest nation in the world, or one of them. Man, we got poor people here that, bring in more money, have access to more money and resources than most of the world. And so why are we so unhealthy? And it's because these companies are feeding us toxic waste, literal toxic waste. And man, if I can't, I really want to stand on the highest mountaintop and scream this mess out to people. But I can't do that. So, hey, we're going to do it on YouTube. And just to say that I'm bummed about it all is an understatement. I'm really disturbed. I feel betrayed, really. I feel betrayed by these companies. And I'd love to see them hurt, to be honest with you. I really would. I'd love to see the people who continue to make these decisions, these bad decisions, hurt for what they're doing to us. But they will one day. They'll have their day, and they will hurt. Just unfortunately, I won't ever see it. But it is what it is. Move on. Let it go. Move on. Know better, do better. That's what we should do. When you know better, do better. Check what's in your food. Make sure you're not eating poison. Make sure you're not ingesting toxic chemicals like sodium hydroxide, of all things. And that's Monday, I guess. But anyway, on a good note, man, today is a beautiful day. This would be a good day for a motorcycle ride if I didn't have to go work later. And it still might be a good day for a motorcycle ride. I could use a break from everything. And lo and behold, y'all see more of this stuff as my channel progresses. I'm waiting on parts. I wanted to upload some more on the Nighthawk, but I'm waiting on parts. So hopefully they'll be in today and I can finish rebuilding these forks. That's going to make a cool video. So, man, I'm going to sign off. I love you guys. Man, I hope y'all's day is blessed. Remember, you're not alone. You're not stupid. You're not a failure. Even if you make mistakes, you're not a mistake. And I want you guys to know that the world is a better place with you in it. Growth is just a mindset change away. Your life improving is just a mental state away from that happening, and you are the one in control of that. I don't care what anyone says. You have the control. You have the power to be able to change your whole world just by changing the way you think. And so remember, curl your goatees. See, I'm doing that. Curl your goatees, and maybe one day I'll shave and clean up and quit looking homeless. But anyway, love you guys. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Later.